The Yortzeit of the Ariza is coming. Hey Av, right? We have another month, less than a month for the Yortzeit of the Ariza, and generally it's a question to go to the tomb of the different tzaddikim in their Yortzeit, and specifically this year because of the whole situation with the virus, so it becomes to be more of a question. So let's start with like simple understanding about Yortzeit of tzaddikim. Okay, so there is a custom to go to the graves of tzaddikim generally, specifically in the Yortzeit of the tzaddikim. And what's the reason for that? So generally we say that tzaddikim mitatam kruim choyim, the tzaddikim after they passed away they are called alive, and that means that they have more strength. They are greater after the death more than what they were when they were alive. How so? Because the physical body was limiting them, and after they got undressed from the physical body, so they're able to be more active and to make more of good in the creation after the death.
But and we also say once they get up there that they can't really elevate themselves.
Okay, that's a different point. That's a different class. So anyhow, the point is that there is a good reason for us to go to the graves of the tzaddikim, because we want to connect to their neshama, and we want to be able to use whatever was their foundations that they made in their life, in their work, so to use that as a platform that we can elevate on top of that and to get closer to Hashem. Okay. Now there's a whole discussion about like asking questions or like from tzaddikim, which the Ariza did, and there is all kinds of opinions about going to graves of tzaddikim and to ask them for specific things that you need. Yeah. So generally, to make it short, without all the discussion, the answer of the Mishnah is giving two possibilities: that you're going to graves of tzaddikim, or you're asking them to pray on you to Hashem, that they will ask Hashem for your merit. That's one possibility. Second possibility is to ask Hashem in the merit of the tzaddik that is there in the grave. Okay, that's the two possibilities that are like solid ground that everybody agrees on. Mishnah brings it. That's clear. That's smooth. Other things, it becomes to be a question, and you get into arguments and all kinds of opinions. So, I don't want to go into that. The point of the matter that in the Yortzeit of the tzaddik, there is a more of a potential to get the merit, to get active, to activate the merit of the tzaddik for whatever it is that you need for in your life, and that merit of the tzaddik is not only in the grave of the tzaddik, is more of a time zone than space where you are located. Okay, if you're combining both and you also go to the grave and also in the right time, so then you make it like duplicated, you like multiplied. Yeah, so it becomes to be greater. But there is many rabbis that they are not so much involved with like going around to graves of tzaddikim. They stay in their bet midrash and they just do like lighting a candle or giving tzedakah or learning the Torah of those tzaddikim, praying in the merit of the tzaddikim. Those that knows how to do yichudi meditation, so they do that to connect with the neshama of the tzaddikim and so on. That's something that you can do anywhere, and that's for sure. That's something that is worth it. So to be aware of whoever is the Yortzeit of the tzaddik, and to use that because there is a potential that is there. So why not? It's good. And they say a story about the Baba Sali that every day he would have a calendar with all of the Yortzeits, and every day will dedicate like the meal that he's having anyhow with his guests for like the elevation of the tzaddik that is its Yortzeit. So even though if you're not, like you don't know the rabbi, you don't know who was it. Obviously, if you know and you have like a connection, it's better. But even if you don't know, it has meaning. It has meaning. Anyhow, all of those things have different meanings. Okay, like dedicating a meal, that's one thing. Light the candles is another thing. Giving zakah is another thing. Each one have its niche, so we can speak about it in details. But now I want to give over the general understanding of it. So the graves of tzaddikim is a place that it's easier in a way to connect to the neshama of the tzaddik. Okay, so that's the reason to go there. And the Ariza himself, not only that he would go to the grave, he would actually lie on the grave. Okay, and there's a whole meditation of like what to do, how to do it when you're lying on the grave. Today, there's almost no grave that you can lie on, because there was rabbis that were very concerned about this custom of lying on the grave, that it looks like al worshipping. There's a certain other al worshipping that is called Evan Maskit. So because there was rabbis that were very against this custom of lying on the graves, so almost all the graves of tzaddikim that people know of, you will find that they made something on the grave. You know, like if you go to the Rashash, for example, you'll see like a big round stone on top of the grave. So you can't lie on the grave. You know, also in the Ariza, it's like something that is like it's possible, but it's very, very not comfortable. They made it like they made sure that it won't be comfortable, because whatever it's. So the point is that there is something in Chabad that they made that it's called like ishtatchut, like what is the different levels of like coming to a grave. So they starting from this custom of the Ariza to like lie down all your body on the grave. That's like the highest level, and then to have like half body like with the hand just to crease the grave, like different levels, like you know, just
the Rambam had with Shraga,
just to put the hand on the grave is like, you know, like, so you have like different levels. So I'm not sure exactly what was the sources there, and like in years since I saw it, but I definitely hear the concept that whatever it is that you do, it has meaning. Yeah? It has different meaning if you're coming and you're just putting the hand, or you're giving keys, or you're lying down, whatever. Or whatever you do, it has meaning. What's the reason not to go, besides the coronavirus? Just like today, not today, but I'm saying generally. Generally, what's the reason not to go? So there is a concept that is brought down in the Ariza and Shar Gilgulim. The Ariza says that around the graves of tzaddikim there is souls of wicked people. Brings the pasuk Saviv Rashim Italchun. There's the literal meaning of the pasuk. It means that wicked ones are going around. Okay, so because, as we know, specifically here in Kever David HaMelech, we see that those like giant monsters that are surrounding Kever David, right? So we see how you have like something that is holy in the middle, and a lot of like impure identities that are around it, right? So even if you don't see that as like physical monsters, as like we have it here, but there is all kinds of spiritual beings that you don't want to get connected with. Okay, so
not to go. Yeah.
So the result it brings it, but it doesn't say exactly like. So what will be the application of that? It brings it as a fact. So when you go, so you have to know that you have to be aware of that. So my tradition from Betel Yeshiva for that is that someone that is not, he didn't do like all the tikkunim of Shohavim, that so is like tikkun abrit, so then he's more in a danger, so it's better not to go. Someone that is coming by himself is more in danger, so it's better not to come by yourself. Somebody that is coming in the time zone that is not excluding from midnight to sunrise, which is better. That's a time that it's more clear entrance. So all the rest of the day it's more problematic. So if to go, so the best time would be between midnight to sunrise, and also you better go to mikveh before and after. Okay, before to be more pure, so nothing will stick to you, and after that, if something did stick to you, so Bezrat Hashem with the mikveh you purified. Okay, that's my tradition from Yeshivat Betel. So according to that, it's a big question. Most of the people, they are not like fully tikkun abrit position, so according to that, it's better not to go. But the reality is that the custom of the world, like basically all of the Jewish people, are going to kivrei tzaddikim all the time. So there is a concept that is brought down in many books. It is called like makom shebdashu bo rabim, like a place that many people stepped on. So it becomes to be more casual, more accepted. So it could be that in the time of the Ariza, it was more dangerous because it was not so much of a custom like that, and today it's more. I'm not sure, but what exactly was
the travel, if nothing else.
Okay, that's another point. Anyhow, so it depends on the situation. Me myself, I'm not going a lot to kivrei tzaddikim because of those reasons. It's not so easy to find like all the means that are needed, spiritual, physical, emotional, to do it in the right way. So I don't go so much. I'm living inside of Kever David. You're right, but that's like, that's where Hashem put me. So I can't do much about it right now.
And Rob, why is it better to go from midnight to sunrise?
Midnight to sunrise.
Isn't that the most like a very very vulnerable time?
Well,
night?
that's my tradition. You can ask your question. I'm not saying no. There is a place for a question like that, but this is my tradition. So I am just saying over what I learned.
So what's the reason for that?
The reason is because this is time that your spiritual strength is greater.
Okay.
So you are able to deal with like things and like keep yourself secure.
Okay. So we say like that.
Generally, that time is called Sh'at Ratzon. Between midnight to sunrise, it's called Sh'at Ratzon. Like it's a time of desire that you have, like you're like for meditation and prayers and like all kinds of things. This is time that is like good to do those things.
You say it's a time of great potential, right?
Right.
That's like
Right.
Like it's potential to rise and to fall, right?
Anyhow, yeah. Now, with all of that, today we have also the virus that is going on. So, how much should be worried about this virus? That's a general question. That it's very very personal, and like each person is where is located, what is age, what is like all kinds of different questions of how much you'll be worried about it, how much is immersed in Torah and so on. So that's not an answer that I can like give as a general like for public. But probably it will be more safe to make something here, to bring some refreshments and to make a class that will be dedicated for the honor of the Yartziete of the Ariza and so on. That's what I usually do in different Yartzites when Hashem is giving me that possibility. Baruch Hashem, Bezrat Hashem. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen.